So I'm having a chat with a couple of members of the last dinner party. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, not too bad. You're here at Truck Festival, kind of near the start of quite a long run of live dates. How's it been for you over the last couple of weeks for you already?
We've had loads of fun, like, I guess because it's new to us, playing so many festivals and learning about so many festivals. I didn't know there was so many, but it's great,
Yeah.
So fun.
And loads more to come, alongside a load of support dates with the likes of First Aid Kit and Hosier as well. What's it like to be a relatively new band, to be asked to be on support tours with artists like them?
It's just an honour, it's lovely. We're big fans of First Aid Kit and Hosier, and it's always whenever we find out, it's still like you said, like so new and so novel that we always scream. It's like, what? Hosier, how do we manage this? It's really fun.
I think you've got a good team with you.
We've got an amazing team.
Yeah, I think so. You've been releasing a couple of singles already this year. Your latest is Sinner, that we've been playing. Tell us a little bit about the single, first of all.
What do you want to know?
Tell us about the writing and the meaning behind the lyrics and all those bits and pieces.
So Sinner, Lizzie isn't here with us, but it's a song that Lizzie wrote. She started it with you. Well, yeah, you tell. What was the process when you guys were doing it?
So yeah, Lizzie kind of came with a verse that's not on there anymore, and then that kind of informed the rest of the song as well. We started with a drum loop, which we haven't done before, and yeah, that kind of like 90s breakbeat, took off from there. Lyrics, yeah, that's Lizzie's domain.
Yeah, I feel like it's about like finding yourself in a new city after being somewhere that's kind of small and closed-minded, but then once you get there, kind of feeling overwhelmed and missing that thing, and it's very beautiful.
And when it comes to the writing side of things, how do tracks tend to work for you guys? How do things start off, and when do you guys get involved with them?
It really varies. Most of the tracks that we play now started as piano demos that I'd done, so I'd go and like write a whole song and then bring it in, and then it would transform once everyone else starts writing. Like Nothing Matters started out as like a really slow, kind of sad piano ballad, and then I brought it in, and then we were like, no, let's have brass and make it a banger, and then and it evolves. And now, we're writing new songs constantly, and we're experimenting with new ways of writing. So, for example, like starting with a drum loop, starting with a breakbeat, going off and writing something separately and bringing it in together. I think we've not got stuck in one formula of doing it, because we want to keep expanding and changing and growing our sound. And I think if you keep doing the same method,
like keeping it fresh for yourself as a writer and a creative, like having the same starting point every time, you might get into the loop of doing a similar thing and coming out with a similar thing. So like keeping that fresh and starting from a different point, or like collaborate, because there's like 5 of us as well. I think we split off into different teams within us. Like I might work with Abby, and then Abby might work with Lizzie, and just keeping it fresh for yourself.
Good. And with the couple of singles that you've got out there now, is this the start of an EP, or are we sticking with singles for now?
It's the start of an album.
Lovely.
It is, it'll be singles until the end of the year, and then an album, I think, next year, which we finished like January. We were sitting on it for a while, so we're really excited to bring it out.
Yeah, good. And so with the sounds that you've released with these couple of singles, does that give a good basis of what to expect on the album, or is it going to be a huge twist when it comes out?
Yeah, great question. I feel like Nothing Matters and Sinner are the 2 most similar tracks on the whole album, and then the rest is just like we go off. I mean, there's like I feel like there's what's the word for something when it's like this, it has like a through line. Coherence. Yeah, it's a coherent record, but like Rora says, we want to explore different genres and different tones, different themes. So there's like an industrial kind of Gregorian chant thing, there's an Albanian folk song, there's like, it's a lot. I think people will be fed.
Nice. And with the record having been done all the way back in January, have you had time to think about the future and maybe even to album 2 yet, or are you just in live mode at the moment?
No, definitely. Like we're writing.
We're always thinking, we're always writing. Whenever we have a spare moment, I think it's just like it comes naturally, right?
And like album 2 is going to be completely different from album 1 because we're just like constantly chasing what's most interesting and exciting, and you know, we're not going to sit down and think like, okay, how do we write another song like Nothing Matters so that everyone likes that? It's like we're only focused on what we love.
Yeah.
And if we can bring people along with us, then, you know, that's great.
Do you know what route you want to take your music going forward into the future, or is it going to be a case of where you're at the time, or how it turns out?
Yeah, we can't, yeah.
It's like, it's dangerous territory to be like, I need to recreate that, or I need to do this. I think it's nicer when you go out and you're inspired, and then that's what feeds what you're doing, what you're writing.
Yeah.
And then I guess hopefully have like a whole load of things that we've written, and then figure out what's put into album 2 that way.
Yeah.
Like editing down rather than, I don't know, having like a pre-organized image of what it's going to be.
Yeah, like having like clear boundaries about what we want to do. We want to just give ourselves as much freedom as possible to explore.
Yeah. So with the sound on album 1, was it the sound that you've created, the sound you wanted, or is it simply how it turned out when you went into the studio?
I guess it's both, because we love the music we play, and like it sounds good to us, and I guess the crux of it all is it's stuff that we would love to listen to. So yeah, I think we didn't like. Before we wrote, it wasn't like, oh, we have to make it sound like this. It just happened, and because what we were doing was following our gut and our interests, it turned out into what we wanted.
Yeah, good. And with as you guys are a relatively new band, I like to find out how you guys got together and what made you write this sort of music. Out of all the genres there are in the world, why this one?
So we all met at uni, at like different unis in London. And then I don't know.
There's not a particular genre. No. Complete there is in the sense of like there's guitars and there's synths and there's like a singer and harmonies, but we don't want to get. I guess every artist, so you don't want to get stuck into one sound and one genre. You want to explore, and not get too bogged down by like what is the genre. Everyone else can choose what it is.
It's like asking you what similar artists.
Well, that's the thing. It's like when we started but the thing is when we started, like the question that was the hardest, I'd tell someone like, oh yeah, I'm in a band. They'd be like, oh, what genre? I'd be like, I don't know, music.
Yeah, absolutely. And you must have some aspirations of things you want to achieve as a band. But if you had to pick one thing that you had to do, what would that be?
A lot's happened already. Like a lot's already happened. Like
Glastonbury.
Some great things.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I would have said Glastonbury.
Yeah. Just traveling, playing around the world, and just carrying on how we are. Like, we're so grateful to be doing this job. It's like a dream come true. So
yeah, good, excellent. Well, guys, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Having a chat with you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Cheers.
you.
Thanks.